This is your WW3 News of a Wednesday morning. Yesterday came out the Rape Gang Report Inquiry. Its findings, it's absolutely graphic what they described. 144 districts in the United Kingdom are subjected throughout years of this grooming gang phenomenon, mainly perpetrated by Pakistani or other ethnic minorities of that geolocated position, part of the world, you should say. And 80% of grooming gang crimes, convictions, are committed by Pakistani grooming gangs. And child trafficking, it's 84%, always Pakistan, strangely enough. Only 8% regarding African minorities and British people committing these atrocities. So the major part of this is the Pakistani people. There are stories how young British girls that are victims of sexual violence of these people in groups, and they're also considered as an impure entity, like pigs in this was it Muslim or Islamic religion, and they have the right to perpetrate this violence on non-believers, which is unbelievable. And the first case was from 1959, believe it or not, 70 years ago. What's even more worse, the entity, many thousands of victims throughout these decades were victims of these grooming gangs throughout various eras. There's even the complicity of local authorities like councils, governments, police, politicians, covering this phenomenon to not be exposed to the public eye. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, when he asked about the phenomenon of the grooming gangs, he didn't know how to respond. But in the findings of this report, it's supposedly allegedly stated he had knowledge of these grooming gangs, he had access to that information, and he read some of these files. I think it's just all to have the votes of this community, Muslim community, basically part of the Labour Party. That's why it's covered up. It's a question of losing power, losing seats, losing everything. I think the only two communities which had rebelled against is the Sikh and Hindu community. Even they're members of the community were victims of this sexual violence perpetrated by these Pakistani grooming gangs. Conclusion. The cause of this so-called phenomenon is due to mass immigration out of control throughout the decades. They recommend they start putting a full stop on this phenomenon, establish a national investigation task force, especially to investigate crimes of this entity, and even have overseas collaborations with other type of police forces around the world, extrajudicial powers. And it's been years. Enoch Powell in 1968, he said it in his Rivers of Blood speech, which The politicians did not like it at that time. He was, how do you say, put in a corner for this. And more recent, Tommy Robinson, which has been years and years investigating these phenomena, he was dead right. And the reason why now and then he ends up in trouble is due to that, because he's persecuted. He knows knowledge of them. And obviously, the documentary he done on a so-called Syrian refugee, which turned out to be something else, a lot more worse. He was censored about that. And and the complicity of the establishment, politically speaking, the Labour Party, covering everything up, denying, saying it's not true, it's all racist. This should serve as monitor to the rest of the Western world, because even them, they're undergoing the phenomenon of mass immigration. And this mass immigration obviously has a negative impact on society. Not now. It continues for decades to come.